He missed his daughter's biggest moments 3 times. Years later, a single train ride would force him to face every empty seat he'd ever left behind. Richard spent most of his life chasing success. Starting as a junior accountant, he worked harder than anyone around him, and long hours slowly became longer. Weekends disappeared into meetings, and family dinners were constantly interrupted by phone calls. Every sacrifice seemed reasonable to him because he believed he was building a better future for his family. His daughter Emily was 8 years old when she first asked him to attend her school play. "Dad, you'll be there, right?" she asked excitedly. "Of course I will," Richard replied. But on the night of the play, an important client requested an urgent dinner meeting, and Richard convinced himself it was just one event. Emily would understand. She stood on stage that evening, nervously searching the audience, and the seat reserved for her father remained empty the entire time. 2 years later came her piano recital. Again, Richard promised he would attend, and again, work got in the way. An emergency meeting appeared on his calendar just hours before the recital, and he missed the performance, telling himself there would always be another one. Emily smiled when he apologized afterward, but something in her eyes had quietly changed. The third broken promise came during her middle school graduation. This time, Emily didn't even ask him directly. She simply shared the date and hoped he would remember on his own. He didn't. There was another client dinner, another missed milestone, and after that day, Emily slowly stopped expecting him to show up at all. Years passed. Richard's business grew larger, and his reputation spread throughout his industry. People admired his success, but very few of them knew how many important moments he had quietly traded for it. Emily grew up, graduated, got married, and built a family of her own, while their relationship stayed polite but distant, the way two people are when too much has gone unsaid for too long. Then life began slowing Richard down. His wife passed away after a brief illness, leaving behind a silence that seemed to fill every room of the house. One winter afternoon, while sorting through her old belongings, Richard found a small wooden box hidden among several storage containers. Inside were dozens of neatly folded letters, and every single envelope carried the same name, Dad. His hands trembled as he opened the first one. It was dated the night of the school play. "Dad, I saw your empty seat. I kept looking for you. I know you're busy because you love us. Maybe next time." Richard swallowed hard and opened another. "I played my piano recital today. I made a small mistake because I kept looking at the door. It's okay. I know you wanted to come." Letter after letter revealed years of quiet disappointment, yet none of them carried anger. Instead, each one held understanding, hope, and an aching kind of forgiveness he hadn't earned yet. Then Richard found the final envelope, a letter Emily had written only a few years earlier. "Dad, I used to think that if I worked harder or made you proud enough, you'd finally show up. But now I understand that life is complicated. I'm not angry anymore. I forgave you a long time ago. I just hope one day you forgive yourself." Richard sat alone for hours, and for the first time, he fully understood what success had actually cost him. The following week, he called Emily. "I found your letters," he said quietly. There was a long pause before she answered softly. "I wondered if you ever would." "I'm sorry," Richard whispered. "I should have been there." "I know," she replied gently. "I've known that for years." A few days later, Richard boarded a train to visit Emily. As the train rolled forward, he couldn't help thinking about the years that had passed like stations outside a window. Moments he had rushed by without ever stopping to appreciate. The letters rested in his coat pocket, and he read them again during the journey, not because they reminded him of his failures, but because they reminded him of something far greater than that. Grace. For the length of that train ride, he wasn't a businessman anymore. He was simply a father, finally on his way. When the train finally arrived, Emily was waiting on the platform. For a moment, neither of them moved. Then Richard stepped forward and hugged his daughter tightly, with no speeches and no excuses, just a father finally showing up. That evening, they sat together for hours, talking about the years they had lost and the years they still had left. Richard learned something important that day. The people who love us most rarely ask for perfection, and they don't expect us to succeed every time. They simply hope we'll be present when it matters. Some empty seats can never be filled again, but as long as there's still time, there's still a chance to choose differently, one promise at a time.